Good evening and welcome to the Chrissy B Show. Now on tonight's programme, we'll be talking about things that you really don't need in your life that could even be stopping you from moving forward and reaching your goals. Tonight, we'll be joined by professional declutterer Jayne Morris and psychologist Sally Austen. And also, we're going to be having our self-development clinic later on with Chris Browne. But first of all, let's speak to the lovely Lizzie to tell us about some news.
Hi Chris, how are you?
Hello, I'm fine. How are you?
Good.
I like your hair up.
Oh, really? It was a quick one.
So she doesn't like compliments, this girl. Do you? Just say thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, good.
Okay, so this one's for you, this news.
Oh, is it?
Do you know they've got a cat cafe now that they're going to be opening?
A cat cafe?
A cat cafe.
I think I've heard this one before.
Probably.
Maybe Bianca told me about this one, I think.
She could have. There's an entrepreneur and she's been given the green light to start work full-time for cats in a cafe. So everyone's welcome to come, have a tea, have a coffee, bring your
cat,
little friend, your cats. You would go.
No, I wouldn't.
You would. You would bring Nina.
Cafe. No, because the thing is, I think Nina, my cat, she gets a little bit afraid when there's other cats around. She's quite friendly. Well, you know her. She loves me. No, she loves her. I get a bit jealous actually because anytime she comes around, Nina's all over her and I get really jealous and stuff. Yeah. So I don't think I would take her there.
You wouldn't. I don't be strange.
What do they do? They just have coffee with the cats.
Yeah, and the owner. I don't know if there's a picture. There's an owner and she's there with her cat. She was like, I don't really want dealing with my food and with all these cats around and all the fur. I don't think it's really. I'm surprised she got the girl. It's a bit unhygienic, isn't it? Serving food, serving tea, and then having all these.
Although my cat's walking around in the kitchen, not on the.
Yeah, but imagine how many cats in that place.
Yes, not very good with people with allergies.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I know I wouldn't. I don't have a cat, but I wouldn't drink there definitely.
That's so catist.
Sorry.
Dare you?
Also, there's a notorious prison in Japan, and it's tried to make itself more friendly and take away like the terror appeal of it by having a mascot. I don't know, here's the picture. So this is a really notorious prison, so it's known for like many problems and everything. Why are you laughing so much?
Okay, no.
They're trying to have a friendlier face because you know that it's always associated with bad things. I know. So they reckon that basically they believe that society has to play its part in supporting the rehabilitation of the
but
criminals.
Is that what they see when they first come in though?
Waving. Hello.
The thing is, they're not going to want to come back, and if they want to, if they do get out, they'll probably want to reoffend to get back in if that's what they're getting.
I don't know if he's the welcome man, but he's the mascot. Yeah.
But what do? They just have it outside the prison though? I don't get it.
I bet so, yeah. I just think they just have it there, maybe meeting and greeting. Also, I have another thing actually in Japan about Coca-Cola. They're going to launch the world's first hot fizzy drink.
Oh no.
I know.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
I know, but I think
although I shouldn't knock it until I've tried it because I always tell people that are sort of be funny about trying certain food like olives. Like my husband used to hate olives, and I just used to kind of go on about them and made him try sort of different ones with different kind of food, and he loves them now.
Yeah.
So, but I always say, don't knock it till you try it.
Yeah. So this one, the scientists have spent 4 years, like making it, and now it's the first hot drink. It's got like ginger in, I think cinnamon or something. And
I just can't imagine
available
having a hot
in Japan.
fizzy because you've already got that sensation of the heat and then the fizz on top of it. It's
more
more sort of, I think the fizz is more sort of refreshing, isn't it? So I don't know, having a
might be nice. I was just wondering how you heat it up, like because they're cans, they're in cans. Like how would it be hot if it's in a can?
But haven't you seen? That's the point actually, because I used to see these. I don't know how they work, and I'm probably end up risk looking really stupid on TV right now by asking. But I saw these cans of like cappuccino, and they said you just shake them and they heat up.
I might have a firmer thing that.
But it's really, I don't know how it works. But I don't know. Has anyone ever tried them? No. Anyone know? Those cans? No. Maybe maybe it was a joke, and I've just looked. Oh, okay. Someone has. And do they actually work? Do they get really hot? Sorry, I've got our self-development coach Chris Browne talking to me across the room. Do they actually work, Chris? Do they get hot? Oh, okay. So apparently, so maybe. Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I don't know if I'll try it actually.
I would try it because it's not something disgusting.
Okay, and also we have washing machine. You would like this one because I know you like vegetables and everything. There's a washing machine for vegetables. There's a picture. There's another one with vegetables in.
See.
And there's another one as well.
Hang on, how does that work then?
Basically, they've created like a machine. It's a 63-year-old guy, and it's a wash machine. You put your vegetables in there. You can even put fish in there, and it's basically the lazy way to wash vegetables. So it's like a mini little washing machine. Just put your vegetables in, put the fish in, whatever you need to wash.
I think that's genius, actually.
Do you think it's genius?
Yes, because when people are busy, because actually it's really boring washing vegetables, isn't it? I don't know, would the ladies use that? Yeah, I'm getting a thumbs up. Would you use it?
I don't know if I have the time.
But it's easier.
Yeah, but then you know that it's clean. Like, you imagine just putting it in. Sometimes.
Well, it depends how you wash your veggies.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
I don't know how good it is. I have to see it in function first. I'm not sure. All right, that's it.
Oh, you finished?
I finished.
That's it?
Yeah.
All right, so you better talk about decluttering then, because we've still got some time to
Yeah, I didn't realise that was going to be about the show. I love it. I love all those tips. You know, the hoarder shows and everything that come on. I like to watch that because it makes me nervous when I see all the boxes, and you know, sometimes you can't even get in their front door. So
actually, I've been to a house like several times, and you don't have any clutter in sight at all. I think you're brilliant.
I drive my husband mad.
How old's your daughter? How old's Michaela?
She's 3 now.
She's 3, and she keeps the house spotless. It's great.
I have to.
I don't know how you do it with a 3-year-old.
Few late nights.
Yeah.
Really early mornings.
But you don't have any like junk anywhere, like clutter or anything?
Yeah, I've always been like that. I can't. Even like if shoes are out of place, I just feel nervous. I can't have cluttered pieces of paper. If I see it, I get nervous.
Yeah. I used to keep a lot of things. I don't anymore. But I used to keep loads of stuff. And when I moved house once, it's like we filled up about 8 bags. I don't know, it doesn't sound much, but like loads and loads and loads of like things that I didn't need, and I had books from when I was at school.
Do you know what I do? I go through things like every month, every 2 months of everything, clothes, bits, and then I throw away what I don't need, give away what I don't need, because otherwise you just accumulate and you don't realise, and I can't be in that situation.
I did that with my mum when I went to visit her in Cyprus once.
You decluttered her house?
Yeah, I started to, Mum, you don't have, she's keeping things from like when we were children. I said, Mum, why are you keeping these things? It's just like, I mean, she's got a pretty big house, but still, it's like just keeping things.
My mum does that, and I don't do that for my daughter. And she's like, oh, you don't keep these things.
Take pictures of it.
No. She has one scrapbook, like, you know, her first drawing, her first picture in school and things, but I can't keep everything. My mum likes that.
Heartless Lizzie.
I'm joking. One picture's enough.
One picture. She's so funny. That's why her house is spotless, because she doesn't keep any of her daughter's drawings.
Yeah, she just about paints. If she paints at home.
Oh, we should put it up on the fridge for a little while. Anyway, we're going to go to a break, but we're going to be talking about a lot more than just decluttering physical kind of things, because there's a lot you can actually do to clear your space, to clear your mind, and that's what we're going to be delving more into in this show today. So do join us after this.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter. Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back to the show, and today we're talking about things that you need to get rid of in your life as soon as possible, because it's going to transform things for you. But first of all, let's take a look at this video.
Hi Tim.
Hiya.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm Jayne. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Here to help you declutter your living room.
Thank you.
Okay, so before we begin decluttering your living room, it can be helpful just to chat a bit about clutter and how it affects us, and it will help you then to get the most that you can from this session. Because what I'd really love is for you to go away at the end and this be a bit of a catalyst for you to then clear other areas in your life. When you think of the word clutter, what does it conjure up for you?
Things that get in the way, I would usually say.
Yeah, things that get in the way. It sums up pretty well. And it can be stuff like in our physical environment, but clutter we can also hold in our bodies. So we're going to be targeting the stuff today, but it will have an impact on all these other areas of your life.
I can totally relate to this, completely understand.
You talk me through the different areas in your living room and what draws your attention as we focus in on your clutter.
Yeah, well, some of this is actually my flatmates, so a lot of this stuff's actually my flatmates, and I think that's one of the problems when you live in like a shared environment.
What is this?
This is a bar.
Right.
It's an old computer that nobody uses. and some books, DVDs.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it, and other old batteries and things that I've thrown in there. Originally bookshelves that have become shelves for all kinds of rubbish.
First, if we get rid of everything that is just rubbish, so like old newspapers. Put a pile for your girlfriend and a pile for your flatmate. And then they can decide if they want to keep them or make space on the bookshelf or manage it.
One, to be honest.
One bin?
So, yeah.
And that's your one to get rid of or keep?
Yeah.
And then there's some magazines on
All
there.
the sexiest 50 ladies I've ever.
That's all the ones that are yours?
Yeah,
That might be a
Shield
good
ones,
start.
they're mine.
To actually store the glasses.
Yeah, that's why
until...
they'd be better off.
Yeah.
Store in the kitchen.
There's one other one. As we do it, you can see if there's anything that So we're finished. Everything's clean and tidy.
Yeah, looks great.
How do you feel?
Yeah, I feel a lot more relaxed looking around, knowing that it's clean and it feels like somewhere you can actually sit down and, you know, chill out and be comfortable, as opposed to continuing on, say, a stressful day at work. You look around, you're like, oh God, this place is a mess. It's not really somewhere to relax. Well, now it feels like it is.
So we've got some things here that weren't yours
Yeah.
to throw away, haven't we? So so the next step then with this, what will that be? do you think?
I think just when a flatmate comes in and realises how clean and tidy everything is, then they're going to probably go, well, yeah, probably I need to do the same.
Right.
And I think just seeing that is going to make them go, wow.
Okay, welcome back. So I have with me now, I have Jayne Morris and also Sally Austen. Hello ladies. Hi. So nice to see you.
Great to see you too.
It's lovely seeing the place getting cleaned up like that, isn't it, girls?
Very relaxing.
You enjoy it, don't you?
I do.
I like the fact that it's someone else's mess.
Oh yeah, but yeah, that's the thing. Sometimes it must be quite hard. I mean, I can sort of help out a friend and family members, but I don't know if I could do that for other people. I do enjoy it sometimes. Yeah, it's nice.
No, it's inspiring. I think when you see the end result and the person really feels that much lighter and brighter because they've let go of everything. So.
Now, why does clutter drain people? Because it does, doesn't it? When people have lots of things around them and they, things that they don't need, why does it drain someone's energy?
Well, I think it's not just the things and the fact that there's no space and their minds then almost can't find space to think, but it's the fact that I think I was saying a little bit about this to you before we came on the show, but even if there's things in the environment that frustrate the person or they don't like, it's the fact that every day they're seeing those little things and the cumulative effect of all those little niggly bits start to really irritate people. And then they just feel down in general because there's all this stuff in their surrounding that they hate.
But obviously it's good to start off first of all, because there's lots to decluttering, isn't there? So it's very good I think the obvious place to start is with things, physical things. So things that you don't need, old stuff that's just there, broken things. So that's the best place to start, isn't it, before doing anything else?
Yeah, it's just the deeper rooted issues and thinking that has manifested itself as physical accumulation of things. That's when it gets more challenging, because then it can be to do with sort of sentimental value that's been attached to things, and then people find it really hard to let things go, or for the majority of my clients who are burning out, it's because they overdo at work, they overcommit themselves in relationships and in other activities in their lives, and they end up with no time left to actually regularly declutter their home. So
like our Lizzie that does it every 2 months, she said.
Exactly.
I think that's good though.
That's great.
It's
I
great
mean, it's better to kind of
have
have it as a regular. Yeah, you have a great effort.
I should love it. right, so I found this brilliant article on the internet, and it was titled like 38 things to declutter from your life right now. And I'd like to read some of it and get your take on it, ladies, because I found it really interesting. And some things, it's talking also about sort of setting goals for your future as well, and doing different things for your future. So they're saying, obviously, to start off. Oh, by the way, it was Denise Duffield Thomas that wrote this article. And she said, like I was saying earlier, declutter the obvious stuff first of all. So, get your kitchen, get rid of anything that's mouldy, because believe it or not, people do sometimes keep mouldy things in the fridge and stuff. So get rid of all those kind of things, clothes that are stained or ripped and all those kind of things. Just get them out. Then when you've done that, then you get kind of that boost of energy, because you feel so proud of yourself that you've done it. Then you get that energy to then start looking at the things maybe that you bought. Say, for example, you bought things just because you could afford them. It's not really something that you actually liked, but you just bought things because you thought, I can't really afford anything else right now, so I'll make do with these things. What do you think about that, Sally?
I could, if I go back just a bit.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'm already put slightly on the back foot by the article, by the fact that it's 38 things.
There's probably loads more.
Because that's sort of cluttery in itself. I kind of think, oh my word, where are we going to go with the other 35? It does make entire sense, and I can see that point, and definitely a bit of success gives you sort of energy, doesn't it? It's a sort of virtuous circle. So you succeed, you feel more confident, you've got more energy to try again, to take a risk. So yeah, definitely. But gosh, where's it going with the other 35?
So you know what, they are.
I'm going to have an empty house.
Quite interesting. I'm not going to go for all 38 because it's just way too many, but I'll just pick out some of the really good ones. But something interesting as well that the article was saying was, like, for example, if you want to maybe upgrade your life and have better things in your life. So say, for example, you have an old pair of jeans and you just normally wear that pair of jeans all the time for sort of just everyday stuff, and then you've got like your special pair of jeans, sort of maybe the more expensive one that you just wear for special occasions, or maybe if you're going to go out anywhere. So instead of keeping that nice one, wear that as your everyday jeans, and then it's like you start to kind of upgrade your life and you start to set higher goals for yourself. And it's something very small, it's just clothing at the end of the day, but I think it starts to set a standard. That is, if you want to kind of upgrade things. I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah.
What do you think?
No, I think absolutely. I think quite often, actually, my husband's really good at this, sort of saying to me, you've been wearing that same top now for ages. I think it's time to get rid of it and get something new. And it does. It feels good to sort of put something on that feels a bit of a treat, and then it helps you to then more regularly up level things. And I think it goes against everything I remember when I was a child, my mum keeping things for, like, what do they call it, Sunday best,
Yeah, it's true, just wear your Sunday best every day, why not?
But yeah, exactly.
Feel nice every day.
Well, in play clothes, I don't know if you had the same. So you've got your Sunday best, but you've also got your play clothes, which in my case was hand-me-downs from my two brothers. And they'd be the jeans with the patches on. And it's probably only this last year, again with nagging from a good husband, that I've kind of managed to lose the play clothes, because there was play clothes, gardening clothes, second best clothes, scrabbling around the floor clothes.
Doing the gardening, can't you?
There's only so many pairs of play clothes you need, and it does feel nice to actually get rid of them and go, do you know what, I don't need them yet. So it does something about the self-esteem, doesn't it? It's something about, I'm confident I'm not going to need this again, or I'm confident I'm not going to need this size again, or this. I mean, for me, I come from.
Oh, that's another thing, isn't it? When you're like, oh my god, what if I put on a bit of weight? I better just keep these trousers just in case I put on the weight.
Yeah, and the confidence, I guess, financially as well. I'm in my late 40s now, so I'm of a generation whose parents, you never threw anything away unless you'd completely worn it out, and having the confidence to say, I'm not that badly off now. If both me and my husband are made redundant, we'll go back to that and that'll be fine. But right now we're not.
Don't need to,
Let's move on and let's kind of enjoy the fact that we've got enough money not to wear everything out before we throw it.
I actually when after I read that article, I found my old jeans and I got rid of them. And I'm going to buy some new ones.
I wanted to ask Jayne something, because after I heard that I was going to be on this programme with Jayne, I went straight to a very large shop that sells sort of lots of furniture, and spent £100 on organising boxes
to
declutter. And I couldn't help thinking, as I stood in the very long queue with this mass of clutter, how would you feel about the fact that I'd spent £100 on stuff to declutter? because you'd kind of reminded me, oh, declutter. I haven't decluttered for ages.
Well, I think
is that normal?
Yes. I mean, when you're buying things to help you with the process, I think you're making an investment.
I love buying boxes to store things. Me and my friend were talking about that today, because I had a coffee with her today, and it was like, instead of like, rather than buying clothes, we actually like going to these places like Muji where they've got these little compartment things. Right. I love going to those kind of places. I get so excited. Really sad. Anyway, I've got to go to a break. I'm talking about boxes. Hold that thought, Jay. We're going to go to a quick break, and then after we're going to speak more to the lovely ladies here.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show. Always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter. Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show. Always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back to our show today, and we are talking about things that you just don't need in your life and you should take out as soon as possible, because it will make your mind clearer to do things. Right, okay, so let's go you had something to say before the break and I interrupted. Do you remember what it was?
Oh yeah, no, it's just on the topic of buying things to help you to declutter. So Sally mentioned about buying boxes, presumably to sort your stuff into, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's an investment because you can then use them again. But equally, I think if you can get space-saving bits and pieces that help to make your environment look more serene and kind of simplistic, but you still maybe got the things you need. You can't throw them away. But I talked about the mantelpiece being like the sort of area where stuff just accumulates, and if you can find
Aren't grandparents great for cluttered mantelpieces? And you're thinking, oh my God, these ornaments are like so old, and like, why are you keeping 50,000 glasses and like plates and stuff? But you can't say anything because they're just not going to get rid of them, are they? Well, let's talk about something else that I think is really, really interesting. I'll just read a couple of them. This is like decluttering your computer because it drains you mentally. Now, Lisa was talking about her emails again, and she doesn't keep more than a page of emails, and she has to declutter. Well, I think it's great, but here as well, unsubscribe from newsletters you don't read, otherwise you're going to be getting emails that you don't want. Clean out your Kindle books that you don't like. It's a bit obvious, but people just kind of leave things there, don't they? This one I love. Now, change your passwords to represent your new goals. So maybe you have a password on your computer and it's the surname of your ex-boyfriend. I mean, what's that doing there? It just brings up old memories, maybe painful memories, and why not just change it and put something that's true? If you put passwords that represent your goals, you're more likely to be thinking about them all the time and looking forward rather than looking backwards. I think that's a fantastic point, isn't it?
Every January I choose a word for the year that inspires me, and then I use that as my password and just tweak it with a few numbers, so it's always different for different things. But the thing on relationships that's quite a big one actually, a lot of people I work with where they've really become quite exhausted in their lives and drained, and that has an effect on their relationships. And quite sadly, a lot of people who are burning out, they end up splitting with a partner because it takes its toll. And when they're looking for either revitalising the relationship, if they're fortunate enough to have someone who's stuck with them, or finding a new partner, then a lot of the time it's about letting go of stuff from the past to kind of free up that energy for new romance, and definitely get rid of old stuff that ex-boyfriends and partners have given you. But even one lady I worked with, she had a sofa from her ex-husband, from her previous marriage, and she'd kept it because it had been a big investment that they'd made, so she was kind of reluctant to let it go. But every time she sat on the sofa, it was bringing up all this negative stuff. So that's a really important one, because it people sort of feel it on some level from you. And
sometimes maybe you're not even that conscious of it, but it's affecting you in some way. But definitely get rid of it.
Stops new love coming in if you're holding on to it.
Exactly. So. This is something else. Obviously, you know about cleaning up your computer. Clean up your Facebook news feed and hide people who are constantly negative.
Yes.
Yes. Get rid of them. You don't need them there. This one as well. This one's decluttering even people, which is kind of what we mentioned as well. Let go of clients you don't want to work with anymore, because it's true, you don't need them when you're... Facebook groups that add nothing to your day, suppliers that don't offer 100% first-class service, so why are you holding on to them? Even hobbies, sometimes we kind of like stick with hobbies that just because you've been doing it for years, but it's not something that maybe interests you anymore. Maybe like the family's involved and you feel kind of guilty for maybe not going anymore, but I think it's important to do what you like to do, right? And not just what other people expect from you. And also, it's even saying people that you've outgrown as well. Now, I think there's some friends you can sort of stay friends with forever, but there's other people that maybe it's time to kind of just, you don't have anything in common anymore as well. What do you think about saying?
Well, one of my favourite folk singers is a guy called Dougie MacLean, and in one of his songs he's got the lines, "I have moved and kept on moving, lost the friends I needed losing." And I thought that was nice, lost the friends I needed losing, that just time does change. And you've got the friends that will always be there, haven't you? And then you've got friends who are passing through. But I think kind of what links what you're talking about with, say, my work as a psychologist with people sort of perhaps whose problems have got more mental health leanings, is the oughts and the shoulds, isn't it? That you're sort of saying, you know, you feel maybe you should stay with that hobby because it's what the family do, or you want to stay in contact with these people because you always have. But these days you just end up meeting so many people that if you keep in contact with all of them, you will kind of drive yourself bonkers, won't you? And so finding ways of working out in your head, is this something I want to do? Is this something I just feel I should do? And there are some things you really should do, and you have to accept that responsibility and that you're part of a community. But there's other things you feel you should do, and it's just a weight, and it's got no rationality. And if you were to sort of take that bit of information and unpick it and say, is this true? Should I stay going to that folk club, or should I stay, you know, in contact with those people? And then some of the shoulds,
and if
your
you're
assumption,
questioning it, I suppose that says everything, doesn't it? If you're questioning it, because the people that you really want in your life, you wouldn't even think about dropping them from your life. So the fact that you're even thinking about it kind of shows, well, maybe it's time to kind of, and not feel bad about it. I think it's important not to feel guilty. But ladies, I'd like to talk now about getting new things in your life, how to attract new things in your life. And something that I always remember that my husband did, and like I thought it was such a good thing to do, and I saw how it worked. Well, I think it was in our gap year at university, and we were both working for a year. And then he started to buy, before this, he started to buy CDs, and he didn't have a CD player. And he was just buying every couple of weeks, he'd buy one, he'd have them all there. And I'm thinking, why is he buying things if he doesn't have like a player at all? But he was thinking about the future, and he was thinking, okay, I'm going to buy one day, so I'm going to start investing, and I'm going to start buying things, buying the CDs, and I've got them all there. He couldn't play them. But then one day he had enough money, he saved enough money to go and buy this amazing sound system with these, back then the speakers were really huge. It's not like all compact like it is today, just as powerful. But he bought this massive stereo system with the was it the turntable thing at the top? Because we had vinyls then as well. And the CD, and it was wonderful. And we used to play the music really loud, it was really good. And that was his way of kind of saying, I'm going to work towards it. But some people, what they do, they wait till they can afford something. They don't start investing and start buying little things. And I had a friend of mine as well, she wasn't even married yet, and she went and bought a wedding dress for her future. She hadn't even met someone. I think after a year she met someone and she wore that wedding dress. And I think there's ways that things that you can start doing and start attracting things into your life. But if you don't even, by buying these things or by doing these things, you're actually showing that I believe that I'm going to get these things one day, and you start working towards it, don't you? I think that's amazing.
Well, I'm a big believer in reinforcing that you believe the thing is possible when you're setting it as a goal, and I think that's part of the power of it. If you're almost like raising your vibration, your energy, by putting it out there that you actually intend fully for this thing to come in and happen. And I help clients create vision boards for the things that they want to attract into their lives, the things they want to be more of, have, do more of, experience in their lives. And so a vision board, I don't know if you've ever created one, but it's like a collage of images, and typically
I haven't done it with images, but I've done it writing.
You can incorporate words as well, and phrases. But a really easy way to do it is just to get a ton of magazines and rip through them. And
I'll tell you, I remember something that I did actually. So a while back when I couldn't afford a car, so I bought the magazine from the dealership, and I cut out a picture of my husband and myself, and I stuck it there. And I thought, one day I'm going to get this car, and I put myself in the driver's seat as well. One day I'm going to and a little while afterwards I was able to afford to buy it. So
it was really powerful.
I didn't realise that was a vision board.
It works exactly the same way. You might do it for one focused area of your life or your life in general, but the idea is that it represents the things you'd like to have that you don't currently experience, or things that you do maybe have but you want to enjoy more of. So it can work for...
I think we should challenge our viewers to do that. Because sometimes it's like you kind of go through life and you think, oh no, I'm never going to be able to get something like that, or I'm never going to meet this kind of person, or I'm never going to be able to afford this. But the thing is, if we have that in our heads, we will never ever think of a way to do it. But once we believe that we can, and think, no, actually, no, why not? Why shouldn't I be able to do that? Why shouldn't I be able to have that? Why not? So, but when we start to actually believe it's possible, that's when we start looking for ways to do it and finding ways to do it. So let's challenge our viewers. Maybe think of something that you'd really like to have in your life, and do this vision board. So what is it? You just do like a paper and you stick things on it, stick pictures?
A piece of card works really well, like a poster board, or, but the size of a newspaper opened out. And then you need about 10 to 20 magazines, different genres, a few glossy women's magazines, fitness magazines, men's magazines, special interest magazines, and then some travel brochures. So that you've got kind of...
got all the different things.
Well, a lot of the time...
exciting.
A lot of the time travel brochures will have animals and then peaceful scenes or exciting scenes, and that can represent even just a feeling that you want to experience more of. So you want more excitement in your life, then you might want, you know, a picture of someone doing whitewater rafting or something, you know, so you can just
really
see what resonates.
Okay guys, I really think you should try it and then get back to us and tell us how you did. Now Sally, on a final note now about decluttering the mind, tell us a bit about that, because you had an interesting thing that you were talking to us about in the green room before, didn't you?
I find that decluttering the mind, I feel a bit ambivalent about the term, because quite often people will say to me, for example, I want to stop worrying, or I want to stop thinking about my finances, or I want to stop thinking about my ex. But what they do in trying to stop thinking about it, they actually think about it more. So if I say to you guys, don't think about flowers, whatever you do, do not think about flowers, then the only thing you're going to think about is flowers. So if you're lying in bed with a worry about your finances and you're saying, don't think about finances, don't think about finances, you are completely filling your head. So obviously there's little strategies like writing the things down and then putting the list in the bedroom drawer so that it's acknowledged, it's recorded, but then it's away. But for me, what I would tend to recommend is filling your head with something else instead. And you could link that to the image board. So if you're lying in bed, you can't sleep because your head's full of worries about redundancy, start picturing what you would like to be doing instead of worrying about redundancy. And whether that's, you know, your dreams of travel or your dreams of a next job or just some happy memories. But what you really need to be doing is saying, what would I be doing instead? So if I'm not going to worry about this, what will I think about? I'll think about my learning the flute. I'll think about my children's fancy dress costume. So you replace it with something that you do want to think about. And I love that idea of an image board, because that fits sort of the way you describe it is of an energy and a spirituality almost. From my end, it's exactly the same actions, but we could explain it from a neurological point of view or a neuropsychological point of view. So if, for example, one of us starts dating a man with a yellow car, you go from thinking, there's so few yellow cars around, I'll easily spot him, to suddenly there's yellow cars everywhere. So once you've cued your attention system, it starts spotting them everywhere, and your vision is increased and you're ready to notice things. So if, for example, I said to you, oh, I would love to own a horse, on the way home, if I go past a sign that says horse to rent or borrow, I'm going to notice it. Whereas if I hadn't said that out loud, I would have gone on the train straight past that notice. So you're cueing your attention. So by letting yourself know, I would like that holiday, or I would like to feel excited, or I would like to own that car, and saying them out loud, you're cueing your attention. And so the moments when you're awake in the night because you've woken up, get yourself thinking about something nice. So.
And I just want to say that you're not going to deal with the issues, because you are going to deal with the problems, but at least you've got some goals, you're working towards something that's going to make you even want to deal with and get rid of any of the issues and the problems that you're going through. But ladies, we've run out of time. There's so much to talk about. This stuff's so interesting, isn't it? But I really hope that's helped our viewers. Thank you so much, both of you were great as usual.
Thank you.
I do hope to see you again soon.
You're very welcome.
Do join us after the break, because we're going to be speaking about more self-development tips with Chris Browne.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter. Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back to the show, and now we are in the lovely self-development clinic with Chris Browne. Hello, Chris.
Hi, Chrissy.
I know you love the topic of the show today. What did you think of what we're
I
talking
thought it was
about?
brilliant because it links into what I'm going to talk about.
Oh, good.
Because earlier on you mentioned about using imagination, right? Now, that's a really powerful tool. Do you know back in the time of prehistoric times when they had like Stone Age and all that, what they used to do, tribes, they used to sketch on the wall, mark out on the wall the food that they're going to kill, the beast. And what they're standing in with the fire burning in the dark, in the cave, and throw spears at it all the time till it actually gets their mind, much to what I was just saying.
How do you know they used to throw spears at it?
Oh, there's actually archaeological proof. They've got chips in the
How
wall.
does it? Oh,
Yeah, they got chips in the wall here in the caves. Not that I went and saw it, but I looked it up and researched it, right? And they go out there after and they'll achieve what they wanted. And sometimes, very much the same as was just mentioned earlier on, Lisa mentioned earlier on, I do it with clients as well. The same thing, I think it's brilliant, those vision boards, put it up. You know, cut out all the pictures, put it on there, get the vision in front of you. Put it near your computer or wherever you're working at a time. And every time you finish, you took a break, you just take a glance at, oh, that's why I'm doing that, let me carry on, that sort of thing. It does actually draw it in.
I think students should do that if they're all tempted to, you know, be bad and do naughty things. They should put a picture up of their future, what they want for their future. That'll keep them.
It's
if I go down this road, I'm never going to get to that place that I want to be.
Yeah, got to keep a vision there. I mean, to be honest, this is going to link into it, but just an experience I actually had cells. I was driving home with my wife, and it was one summer's time, and I said, it would be great if we just had a couple of mountain bikes to actually ride around on that summer's day. This was on a Sunday afternoon. Tuesday, I got home from work, and there was 2 brand new mountain bikes.
Your wife, you got them?
No, my brother-in-law met someone he knew who was clearing out his house, who said, do you know anybody who might want these? And he thought of us and brought them round. I came and they were there Monday
See, you
to
need
Tuesday.
to speak it out. So, I want to receive £10,000
That is not impossible.
right now.
Well, no, I don't think so right now. Okay, but going on with this, what we're talking about is designing your own life, which is of that at the end of the day. Very much so. Your imagination is a powerful tool. I mean, you think about the person who gets the car, parks it on the corner of a house, goes out every day, polishes it, gleaming proud of it. And then one day, somebody drives around the corner, hits the car. What happens from there? They lose their head about everything. But the funny thing about it, if they spent the time polishing up the mind and imagination, they could replace that how many times over. The values that we put in things sometimes don't need to be there. We need to put it in ourselves, our minds, and how we actually picture ourselves, our future. So, and one way I'm going with that is this. You've got to work out, if you're redesigning your life, you've got to have a picture already what you want, right? But when we say what we want, sometimes we think with limits in our head. We got imposed limits. I can only have this because I want this, and I can only go so far, but you can't think that way. You've got to think outside the box. Crazy things that seem impossible, you've got to think about it. So there's a saying, I remember this other coach I was working with, and he said, shoot for the moon, but if you miss, at least you land among the stars. So it puts your goals right there where you need to get to. Now, taking that further, let's say we've done that now, and if we had a piece of paper who was mapping this out, actually, it'd be good if actually mapped it out on pap, right? We're talking here about the things that make you happy. Things that make you happy. If you could think of your lifestyle now and think of what are the things, if there was no limits at all, that would actually make you happy, that you like doing, that you haven't done, right? It might be in your everyday life, right? So you've mapped out a lot of things. What would I like to do? I'd like to go and do this. I'd like to go running. I'd like to get fit. I'd like to spend time doing it. Whatever it is, right? But you can't really afford to do it because of your lifestyle is crammed with so many other things, right? Okay, we know, don't we?
We
right?
certainly do.
We know about it,
Yes.
right? So good thing about it is that have an idea of them, write them down already. The things that will make you happy, not what you think will make you happy. If you thought, I want to go scuba diving, right? Make you happy, wouldn't it, right? So put that down. Now, from there, what you've got to do is this. Work out your lifestyle as it is now. Think about where could I actually squeeze that in? Where can I actually make a space for that? Talking about decluttering, back to that. Where can I actually make a space for that and implement it in my life? So you're mapping your life out how you'd like it to be. Then the other thing that you thought about you'd like to do, where can I put that in the time? You're mapping what you like to do. Now, right there, it seems like vision, it's imagination, and oh, it'd be great if you do it. Now, exactly the same thing. Your mind's clued into that. So now you've got to reorganize your life.
You can always make space for things. So
There
have
you
you
go.
noticed something that when it's to do with work, and sometimes you think, oh God, I couldn't possibly fit in any more work than what I'm doing now. But when something else comes, you manage somehow to fit that extra job in. So why not, when it comes to things that you really love to do and you want the goals that you have for your future, and things that, like scuba diving, for example, you can. You just have to be clever about the way you do it.
It's sort of self-managing yourself in the right way. We manage ourselves with our work, just as you said. We'll find a way to do things because it has to be done, and we know that. If we prioritize our life that way, we'll find a way to redesign. Yeah, exactly. Wow, imagine you'd redesign your life and have it the way that you want it to be. Right? Now, taking further from there, what you've got to realize is this. At this present moment, you just said, well, if we did have our lives that way, and because of our work and this, that, the question is, what's stopping you? Yeah? Think about it. What's stopping you? There is nothing stopping you but you. Your life at the moment, the way it is, sometimes it might be, I'm not saying automatically everybody's life is humdrum. Some people are happy with the way it is right now, and that's a good thing. But we can always add more to it, or squeeze different things in there. We've got to do something different, you know. As I always said, to have things you never had, you've got to do the things you've never done. So if you want the life that you're looking for, you've got to start replacing some things with the things that you'd like to do. From there, your life should change, and automatically those around you start to change as well, you know. So it's redesign your life.
It's time to redesign your life. Don't wait anymore, because the more you wait, the more they're losing out on.
Exactly.
Being happy.
It's all about time.
It's
all about being
so
happy.
much, Chris.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
Next time.
Yep.
Chrissy B Show. Well, thank you so much for watching, and I thought the show was really excellent today. We had loads of fabulous advice, and I think it's really something that, don't wait anymore. Just start at least doing something each day to work towards your goal and to get rid of things that are maybe holding you back. So if you want more information about the show, do visit the website chrissybshow.tv. See you again next time. Bye bye for now.
3, 2, 1, power slide, bum down, grab board, lean back. Hey, perfect. All right? All good? Can you get up?
Yes. It's so nice doing that.
Grab it, grab onto it as hard as you can, just keep your arms out in front of you. There we go, arms out, straight up, stand. Oh, there we go, just relax, arms out in front, on your toes, on your toes, on your toes. On your toes, on your toes. Let go for a second. That's fine.
Can I walk up? Please.
That was brilliant. That was excellent. Other than a stylish dismount at the end. Hey, look, no pressure. No pressure.